Jets, I hear them say it now.
Jets, white, green, just green and white. Tell me, have you ever seen a team take flight? Super Bowl dreams are still in sight. All we gotta do is win tonight. White, green, just green and white. Tell me, have you ever seen a team take flight? Super Bowl dreams are still in sight. All we gotta do is win.
What is going on, Jets fans and YouTube, and welcome back to another edition of the Jet Fuel Podcast, episode 6 on the Turn Up the Jets YouTube channel. Appreciate you tuning in. Before we get into it, I am Joe Scardo, your host, as always, aka Turn Up the Jets. You could follow me on social media platforms at Turn Up the Jets, all one word, on Twitter and Instagram. Also, please subscribe if you have not already. If so, much appreciated. And if you are new, welcome. And also, you can like the video if you actually liked it. So we got some juicy stuff, man. We got some running back updates. Of course, Dalvin Cook is a Jet, and I was all kind of discombobulated yesterday. I was all over the place. I was so excited. I had to make a video, and I was just babbling. So I'll really get into more depth in regards to that. Want to break down the Panthers-Jets game. I know it seems like a long time ago. It was on Saturday, but wanted to fit it in the podcast as they shut out the Panthers 27-0. And then a little bit about the offensive line in terms of the possibility of a new name starting at right tackle. But let's get into the running back update. So this morning, Breece Hall has officially been activated from the PUP list per Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic. He is back, and it shows the signing of Dalvin Cook isn't because that Breece Hall was behind or they feared that he wouldn't be ready. No, the Jets still expect him to be back and playing week 1. Percentage-wise, I'm not sure. I mean, I would hope that they throw him out there at 100%, but at the same time, even if he is, the workload will not be 100%, as it shouldn't be. This dude is coming off one of the most major injuries in the sport, especially to a running back. Really, the past players that had this injury in this position don't particularly bounce back right away year 1. Adrian Peterson was an anomaly in 2012 when he won the MVP and he rushed for 2,000 yards. Let's be honest, I don't know when a running back will ever win the MVP again. It was just a freak show of a season. So the sample size other than that, it's not promising, but I'm an optimist. And I think the Jets adding more depth to the running back room helps Breece Hall kind of get right within the first month. They need Breece Hall November, December. Yes, they have that gauntlet in September, October. I get it. Even if you can get him right in the beginning of October, that'd be great. But I feel confident now with Dalvin Cook that Breece Hall doesn't have to rush back. And Breece Hall's going to play, but it's going to be even better because you could use him as a decoy, and he's still going to make big plays. Like, this is huge. This is huge stuff. Breece Hall is really going to help this offense. No, he's not going to rush for 2,000 yards. It would be great if he did. No, he's not going to win the MVP. But this is a star running back, so this is big stuff. And I think he is trending in the right direction. He looks good. I've seen videos of him making cuts. Supposedly, he's getting faster, 23 miles per hour he was clocked in at. I'm excited to see what Breece Hall can do. And yes, Dalvin Cook is a New York Jet. The Jets signed him yesterday to a 1-year deal worth up to $8.6 million. I believe the base salary is around $7 million. So almost most of that is guaranteed. The Cook signing helps Breece Hall, and they don't sign Cook because Breece Hall isn't trending in the right direction. They sign Cook to just take the pressure off Breece Hall. Do they sign Cook if Breece Hall doesn't tear his ACL? Probably not. But 2 running backs are always better than 1, no matter who is in that room. Rodgers played with a lot of great running backs. Aaron Jones is a top running back, or at least was in his prime. I would say Aaron Jones was a top 10 running back. He's probably like the fringe top 12 to top 15 now, but he was top 10. Guess what? They paired him up with Jamal Williams. Guess what? They paired him up with A.J. Dillon. In 2021, the last year with Hackett, when Rodgers won the MVP, they each had over 1,100 yards of scrimmage. They were each productive players. This can happen in this offense. A lot of teams run two-back running back sets. You could have both of these guys out in the field at the same time because they are playmakers, because they can pass catch. You're not restricted with just one every play. Both of them are allowed to be on the field at once, and you will see that, especially when Breece Hall comes back and they feel like he's 100% and they can give him the workload that they want to give him, that he saw really the first 7 games up until tearing his ACL in Denver. So the Dalvin Cook signing is tremendous. It's a late offseason luxury. They didn't need him, right? Maybe they didn't. But why do we hate adding talent? The Jets have been a terrible team in the last 12 years. When has the Jets been in a position to sign a 4-time Pro Bowler who has had 4 consecutive 1,000 yards seasons, who averages a career 107 total yards per game? When do they have the opportunity to sign him in late August? Because they're making a push to the promised land. I mean, come on. Like, get real. We're used to signing Andre Roberts or Jermaine Kearse. I mean, come on. Like, they actually are signing real players. This is a real talent. Say what you want. They only need 75% of Dalvin Cook. They don't need the 100%. Say what you want about the injuries, but Dalvin Cook played all 17 games last year. Say what you want, but even if Dalvin Cook has been hurt, right? He's been one of the best running backs since he's entered the league. I don't get it. I believe he's second in total yards in the running backs position since 2017. He's fourth since 2019. Obviously, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, guys like Nick Chubb. Cook's right up there, though. Okay, you could say his stats were deflated or inflated because of that ridiculous year he had a couple years ago. I believe he scored 16 touchdowns. I want to say was it 2021 or 2020? It was one of those 2 years. But either way, he's a stud. He's a good player. He still had, a solid year last year, a Pro Bowl caliber season. Yes, the Pro Bowl, whatever. Say what you want about it. But he was still one of the better running backs in the NFC last year on an off season. And they don't need him to come in and be a Pro Bowl running back. They really don't. They need him to just be a playmaker. That's why you have Breece Hall. That's why they drafted Israel Abandakanda. I mean, they have other guys. This is, the rich get richer. You get better. Why are people mad that they signed Dalvin Cook? Is the $7 million their money? No. Rodgers took a $35 million pay cut. It's Rodgers' money, if anyone's. He wanted this, and every Jets fan should want it. I get it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I've seen a surprising amount of people that weren't happy that the Jets signed Dalvin Cook, which is crazy. Why? Why wouldn't you be happy that the Jets signed a real talent? We talk potential all the time. This is why so many Jets fans did not want Dalvin Cook. How do you not want Dalvin Cook? I'll tell you why. This is why people don't want Dalvin Cook. Because they think the trio of Bam Knight, Michael Carter, and Israel Bandakanda, they're worth getting a shot. Got to give them a shot, right? Everyone thinks that these three deserve a shot to prove themselves while Breece Hall gets healthy. They did get a shot. And Bandican is in. He's a rookie. He's a 5th-round rookie, though. Why am I putting a trust in a 5th-round rookie? In an all-in year. Potential's great. Can he be a great player? Yes, he showed a lot of explosiveness. He's been one of the more impressive offensive players the first 2 preseason games. Scored week 1, nearly scored week 2 in that ridiculous spin move. He can be a guy. But why are we going to put so much on a rookie? That's all in. You know what you're going to get with Dalvin Cook. And again, even if you get 70% or 75% of what you want in Dalvin Cook, it's still great because you have Breece Hall. But yeah, the people who didn't want Cook is because they think Bam Knight and Michael Carter deserve a chance to prove themselves. And I said it earlier. They did. They did have a chance to prove themselves last season. I got some stats because, you could say all you want, but stats don't lie, man. Bam Knight and Michael Carter got their shot to prove themselves last year. 7 games. 7 games as a duo. You could say all you want that's a small sample size. Production over potential in 2023 for the Jets. This is an all-in year. Who gives a shit about potential of what Michael Carter or Bam Knight can do? Abanikanda, he's going to get a share. They drafted him this year for a reason. But in 7 games as a duo, Bam Knight and Michael Carter combined 16.42 attempts a game, 49.28 yards a game, roughly averaging 3 yards a carry. I mean, that is the definition of underwhelming. That adds up to 115 attempts for 345 yards. And, by the way, they score a whopping 1 touchdown in those 7 games. Bam averaged 3.5 a carry. Carter averaged 2.5 a carry. Carter for the entire year averaged 3.5 a carry. Definition of underwhelming. After Breece Hall got hurt, they averaged 86.7 yards a game. The league average was slightly over 116. Under 30 more yards that they were from the league average. That's not good. You could say all you want that they're young. Production over potential. This is an all-in year. You're going to get the potential. You're going to get the production from Dalvin Cook. You just know it. You're going to get that production. Whether it's 100% of Dalvin Cook or 75, it's still way better than both Bam Knight and Michael Carter combined. Nice players. Bam had 2 or 3 good games. Carter had a good rookie year. But they had their chance. The Jets were one of the worst running teams after Breece Hall got hurt. Bottom 3 easily. 86 yards a game? That's terrible. So enough saying that you want to see Michael Carter and Bam Knight get a chance. You already did. It was super underwhelming, and there's no screwing around when you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. Done deal. There's no screwing around anymore. This isn't Zach Wilson. You're not scratching your ass waiting for someone to develop into a good quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is a MVP caliber. 2 out of the last 3 has been Aaron Rodgers in terms of an MVP. They're nice players, but I'm not refusing Dalvin Cook because they have Bam Knight and because they have Michael Carter. And Abanikanda, I think he's going to get some production in the pass game. But the dude was drafted in the 5th round for a reason. I mean, it's not like they used a first-round value on him. It's not Bijan Robinson. It's not Jahmyr Gibbs. Yeah, he scored 20-plus touchdowns. He's got an impressive resume at Pitt, and I'm not saying he doesn't. Production over potential, though. And that's what the Jets win, and that's what they should go, and that's what everyone should want. Again, it's going to be not every time something happens. Not everyone's going to be happy. I bet there were people who weren't even happy when the Jets traded for Aaron Rodgers. I bet there were some crazy people out there that were really, really, really wanted Derek Carr, and they were pissed off that they went Rodgers because he's a drama king and that he was going to, only play 1 year. There had to be plenty. I was not one of them. Did I admit that Carr was the safer option? Yes, I did. But any human would want Aaron Rodgers on their football team other than Carr. But again, everyone can't be happy. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But Dalvin Cook is a Jet. I'm pumped. A lot of people are pumped. They just get better. They just add another playmaker. You can't be mad at that. You can never have enough playmakers. You can never have enough playmakers. It's going to take him about a week or 2 at the shoulder to be 100%, but he'll be ready for week 1. You got about 4 weeks till week 1. Breece Hall should be ready for week 1. You're going to see, I believe, Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook week 1 against the Bills, and it will be electrifying. Odd man out of the running back room. It's hard to say. Initially, when we talked about this a few weeks ago, I thought it was going to be Michael Carter. I thought he was going to get traded. We want to overreact to preseason games, and everyone's saying, oh, this running back room could play last Saturday because they were playing the third-string Panthers. I think the only guy I really value is Abanikanda because he's a rookie. So seeing that he's adapting to the speed of the game is encouraging. But the other guys, MC and Bam Knight, Bam Knight played terribly. MC, he made some solid plays both in the pass game and the run game. Obviously, Abanikanda really dominated overall. But yeah, originally I thought it was going to be trade MC, but it might be too late. Who knows? Maybe you can trade MC and some picks for a team that needs a running back, for a team that has too many offensive linemen, even though you can never have that. I don't know. I think that's more of a pipe dream. But I think they're going to probably keep Michael Carter, and it might be the end of Bam Knight. Michael Carter was a 4th-round value in the 2021 draft. Bam Knight was an undrafted free agent. He was a nice story. He had 2 to 3 solid games in the 7-game span. But again, at the stats I just read, they still were underwhelming at the end of the day. So it probably will be Bam Knight as the odd man out. But let's go to the preseason game. Again, it seemed pretty long ago, but the Jets shut out the Panthers on Saturday afternoon in Charlotte, 27-0. 27-0. So, the defense was really the story of this game. And sorry, I'm pulling up the box score right now. But the defense was definitely the story of this game, for sure. And we'll get into that a little bit. I want to first start off with Zach Wilson, 14 to 20 passing, 123 yards, a touchdown. The touchdown was late to Kenny Yeboah. As I said, Abanikanda had a great game, 12 carries, 56 yards, 4.7 yards a carry. Travis Dye, 10 for 32, 3.2 a carry. Michael Carter, 4 for 19. Yes, small sample size, about 4.8 a clip, pretty solid. Bam Knight, 4 carries, 13 yards, 3.2, underwhelming. Carter actually led the team in receiving yards, though. That's where he had the biggest effect, as well as Abanikanda. There was so many screen passes, 2 for 34, 17 average, a catch for Carter, and then 3 for 31, 10.3 average, a catch for Abanikanda. And then Dye was the third. So their top 3 receivers were running backs. So, that just shows you they were playing very conservative with Zach Wilson. And this was the reasoning of why I wasn't jumping off my couch at this performance, but it was a nice performance. It was a trending in the right direction. He looks more comfortable. Obviously, they're playing super conservative. They weren't opening up the playbook at all for him, which I think they should. This isn't the regular season. You got nothing to lose. I know they want to slowly get him back in, but I really hope they try. Let's see what he can do. Can he throw downfield? Can he, remain in the pocket and throw downfield instead of just throwing a 10-yard screen? I want to see the guy that the Jets potentially had thought they drafted in 2021, but it's still a nice performance, trending in the right direction. The Jets defense, that was the name of the game. Their backup offensive line, their backup defensive line was absolutely wrecking havoc against the ones for the Panthers. This was the Panthers starting offensive line came out right away. The Jets had 5 sacks. Will McDonald looks like an absolute beast. Jermaine Johnson, Bryce Huff look like absolute beasts. We're talking about potentially their 5th, 6th, 7th guys. This is the deepest defensive line room in the entire league. Convince me otherwise. You just got guys after guys after guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. This defensive line is going to be absolutely filthy. And I cannot wait. This defense should be better than what they were last year. Say what you want about the linebacker situation. They played a lot of 2 linebacker sets last year with Albrecht. They do. They love the slot corner. They love to add another corner. They love to go 3 to 4 corners, 2 safeties, 2 backers. They can switch things up. They don't always have the 3 linebackers. Like Quan Alexander didn't play every snap because he was terrible in pass coverage. You go get another nickel corner, put him out there. Let him cover a receiver or a tight end. I'm not too nervous about that. I think the Jets defense is going to be better what they were last year. It's solely dependent on the defensive line. Like Jermaine Johnson, a first-round guy who you traded back into the first round for a third pick in that round. This dude's going to be better this year. He looks bigger, better, athletic, more confident. They eased him in last year because they could. They didn't have to rush him. I think McDonald might be a little more rushed than what Jermaine Johnson was, though. Higher draft pick. And this dude, I know, again, it's preseason, but just watching him, that spin move is ridiculous. He's so athletic. He's huge. He's just a freak human. Like, we thought Michael Clemens was a freak. McDonald might be more freakish just because how athletic he is. This dude jumps over freaking cars, dude. Like, he is out of control athletic. So this defensive line, sky's the limit. I think the Jets are going to be a top 3 to top 5 unit. They were top 4, I believe, last season. I believe it was only Philly, Buffalo, and San Francisco that was ranked better in total defense a year ago. I think the Jets could squeak in there a 3. They're easily a top 5. And I think they're going to improve. And again, you got Sauce Gardner, who was a rookie last year, who's an all-pro, Pro Bowler, defensive rookie of the year. This dude's going in his second year. He should only be better. So like a great defensive line and arguably a top 3 cornerback duo with DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner. CJ Mosley, still a great player. Always top 5 to top 7 in tackles in the league last 2 years, has been. Was a second team All-Pro last year. Very good player. I'm excited. I'm very excited to see this Jets defense. Like, my goodness, you have Quinnen Williams, you have Carl Lawson, you have JFM, you have Al Woods, McDonald, Jermaine Johnson, Bryce Huff. You have Quinn Jefferson. You have Michael Clemens. I mean, it's just like the fact that I can name 8 guys and they're still all good players is insane. So that's what I got out of it. You could worry about the offensive line all you want. We say that the league is won by the trenches. Okay, maybe they don't have the best offensive line. It's going to be decent if healthy, but they have the best defensive line. So you're winning the trenches on one side. Aaron Rodgers is going to have plenty of opportunities to get the football in the end zone or to get the ball through the uprights. He's going to have plenty of opportunities to get points. A good defense who now is going to be paired up with a good special teams unit. So underrated. Greg Zuerlein, booting, 50-plus field goals like it's nothing, had a good year last year, and then they got Thomas Morstead. A great veteran. He was really, really good with the Miami Dolphins last year. The Jets only moved on in 2021 because Brady Mann came back and they had just drafted him a year ago and they weren't willing to cut ties yet. Oh, they weren't screwing around this year. Production over potential, right? Goodbye, Brady Mann. Hello, Thomas Morstead. They're going to give this defense great opportunities, right? You're going to pin offenses against this defense? Guess what? Then they have to punt, and then you have good field position with Aaron Rodgers. They're going to be fine. The offensive line is going to be fine because this defensive line is insane. It's so good. Knock on wood. Staying healthy. This is a top 3 defense. Top 5 at worst. Every level you have a star. You have Quinnen Williams. You have CJ Mosley. You have Sauce Gardner. Yeah, the safeties, there may not be a star, but you have some solid players. But the first 3 levels, you got stars. And you got potential stars like DJ Reed. I think DJ Reed is a star corner. Carl Lawson, I mean, I might be more higher than Carl Lawson than the rest, but I think Carl Lawson gets double-digit sacks this year. He definitely has the opportunity. He had 7.5 last year. Especially in the first few games, he wasn't himself. He just came back from Achilles injury. That's a brutal injury. Fully healthy now. Sky's the limit for him. I think we're going to see the full-on potential. And he's just a freak of nature as well. So this is what I got. The defense is really, really good. Offensive-wise, it was a lot of screen passes. They played pretty conservative. I do think it's clear that Zach Wilson will be the backup. Boyle 9 for 10, 2 touchdowns, 84 yards. He had a great field position with a strip fumble late in the game, and that was really about it. So yeah, it was really all about the defense. It was a nice performance by the Jets. Yeah, it's preseason, but still a good step in the right direction. And it just shows this is what Jets football is going to be this year. This is what Robert Saleh wants. Hard-nosed defense, make the quarterback's life a living hell, and give your offense good opportunities to score. And Aaron Rodgers is going to get plenty of opportunities. Aaron Rodgers only has to score 17 to 20 points to win a game on most Sundays. Of course, you're going to be playing some juggernaut offenses like the Bills twice, the Dolphins twice, the Chiefs, the Eagles. Of course, in Dallas, you got some really good offenses, but still, this defense is really good. They can go up with the best of them. And as I said, I'm not worrying too much of the offensive line. This is interesting, but again, per Zach Rosenblatt of The Athletic, he released an article that the Jets are trending to start Billy Turner week 1 at right tackle. I don't know how sure of a thing this is. If I was a betting man, it would probably be a 50-50 shot that this happens. I don't think this is a sure thing. They still got a little under 4 weeks here before Monday night. Anything can happen. They can sign a guy. They can trade a guy. Again, it could be a pipe dream of trading or signing a tackle, but the Jets have done it the last 2 years. They got Morgan Moses late, had a solid season in 2021. They didn't sign him back because he wanted bigger money. Fair. Last year, they got Dwayne Brown late, had a solid season until he got hurt. He came back, probably going to be the starting left tackle. So you can't erase that thought. And I still think, the Jets could use all the help. You can never have enough offensive linemen. I know people are pissed off because apparently, Billy Turner has looked terrible. I'm not at those training camps, so I'm just, saying what I hear. Now, I've seen videos of him getting beat, but the thing is, training camp, you can't really overreact too much. The defensive line is going to win the battle 75% of the time. It's just simple in practice. It just happens. And the defense is always ahead of the offense. It just happens. Even if he is the starter week 1, this is not a sure thing at all. The Jets, again, even mid-season could trade for somebody. If someone is completely out of it, like the Arizona Cardinals or something. That's just a hypothetical. There's no specific player I had in mind, but just hypothetically, that could happen. But I think just because Billy Turner's starting week 1 doesn't mean Mekhi Becton could start week 3 if he struggles. I think it's more so making Aaron. What does Aaron Rodgers want? If Aaron Rodgers wants Billy Turner to start right tackle week 1, they're going to do it. Why wouldn't they? And if he stinks, the Jets will step in and say, hey, this is not working out. We need to protect you. We need you healthy. We need you upright. And if Billy Turner's the reason that he isn't upright, they're going to bench him for Mitchell or Becton or maybe another name. Or they throw AVT to right tackle. That's been the rumor too. And then you put Wes Schweitzer at guard, or Tippmann could also play guard. Heck, McGovern could even play guard. All 3 centers can play guard. All 3 centers have played guard. I don't know how much Tippmann has played guard in Wisconsin. I know primarily he was a center, but he's a big center. So he's more, his body type is more fit for the guard position. Again, I'm not saying he can't be an elite center, but they have options. They might not be the best, but they have options. And I've been an advocate. I'm not worrying as much as everyone else with the line. Let us see a damn game. Let us see it. 2021, when the Bengals made that run, had one of the worst offensive lines in the league. Joe Burrow was sacked 7 times in the divisional game against the number 1 seed Tennessee Titans, and they won. He then was sacked about, 4 to 5 the next week, and they beat Mahomes and the Chiefs to go to the damn Super Bowl. Yes, Their offensive line ultimately lost them the Super Bowl because if Burrow had one more second, he had Jamar Chase down the field for probably a 70-yard touchdown, but they can still win. They can still win. Mahomes, again, 2020, they had one of the worst offensive lines. And you know the trends, these are all really good quarterbacks, but the Jets have a really good one too. Of course, you want to win it all. I get it. Aaron Rodgers needs to be upright, but teams can win. You don't need this elite offensive line. The Jets have so many offensive weapons. Their defense is so loaded. If this can just be a top 15, if they're the 15th or 16th ranked offensive line, they are okay. And I've seen rankings, they're like 19 to 20, even that. Last year, they were bottom. They were terrible. But if they stay healthy, they're going to be top 15. I truly believe that. The offense is run to get the ball out of Rodgers' hands quickly. They have the playmakers to do it. They have the explosiveness. They have Garrett Wilson. They have Allen Lazard, a big body. They have Mecole Hardman. If you throw him a screen, he might go the distance. Corey Davis. Randall Cobb, heck, on a nice 3rd down and 8 when you need somebody. Or reliable. They have Uzama. They have Conklin. They have Ruckert. They have Hall. They have, Dalvin Cook. They got plenty of weapons. So Billy Turner, whatever. Do I think he should start? No. Who would I personally want to start? I would roll Mekhi Becton out there. Like, if you don't trade him, you might as well try to play him. Because between him, Mitchell, and Turner, you might as well go Becton to see what he is, right? I still think Mitchell is going to win the job. I said it from the start. Obviously, Billy Turner's name is trending. It's not surprising because Aaron Rodgers probably wants him out there. And it won't be surprising if he is. And if he is, it's not particularly because he performed by far the best. It's because Aaron Rodgers wants him out there. And that's why I think Connor McGovern wins the center job. He's the veteran. I think Rodgers is more comfortable with the veteran week 1 against the Buffalo Bills than a rookie. This offensive line is going to change. Like week 1, this is not the set offensive line. It's going to change multiple times. Performance-based or even injuries or anything. It's going to change. So I'm not looking too far into this. Let's see what the Jets look like week 1. If Aaron Rodgers is sacked 6 times, okay, then I'll be nervous. But I'm not nervous because of videos of a training camp. I'm not. Not yet anyway. But that's going to wrap it up for another episode of the Jet Fuel Podcast. This was episode 6. As always, Joe Skirto here, a.k.a. Turn Up the Jets. Appreciate you tuning in. And if you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. And if you are new, welcome. If you are a reoccurring guest, appreciate all the support, man. I really, really do. Also, like the video if you actually liked it, and you can follow me on social media platforms on Twitter and Instagram at Turn Up the Jets. All one word, and Hard Knocks is on tonight, means we are recapping episode 2 tomorrow. Cannot wait to see what we have in store. I know the Jets weren't allowed to show footage of Dalvin Cook. It might be too late, but I don't know if they throw footage in there now. Probably not. They probably have it all set up, but it should be interesting. But until next time, see ya.
Jets, I hear them say it now.
Jets, white, green, just green and white. Tell me, have you ever seen a team take flight? Super Bowl dreams are still in sight. All we gotta do is win tonight. White, green, white, green.